Good morning. So today we are going to run an easy, I think it's 2.7 miles. Let's see if it popped up on my watch, because sometimes it pops up on my watch because of Rana. Okay, it's not showing, but today we're running an easy 2.7 miles. We are easing our way back into, I guess I could say training. I was gonna say, I don't know if I want to say training for our second half marathon, but just really conditioning my body, because I'm not necessarily trying to shave a ton of time off. I do want to shave a lot of time off, but I really want to focus on being able to run all the way through. That's kind of my focus. So I think focusing on being able to run for longer gaps of time will allow me to finish faster naturally. So that's what I mean by we're not really focusing on shaving a ton of time off, but just really conditioning my body. So we're doing an easy 2.75 miles today. But this video is not about that. This video is about, I have decided to do 75 hard again. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how I am prepping to make 75 hard a little bit easier this time around. Not easier, easier. I don't know why sometimes we have a negative connotation around the word easy. Like, things that are easy are not as valuable or as worthy as things that are hard. And I think that's like a really deep limiting belief that makes us force ourselves into situations that are difficult unnecessarily. So I did not mean for this to be a word, but now it's becoming a word. And so struggle and doing things that are hard, overpacking your schedule, like those are all things that we do as trauma responses because we're used to operating with our back up against the wall. And that's not the way that God intended life for us. He wants us to live an easy and abundant life. And then when he sees that we need character development, or he sees that we need something new, whether it's a tool or a skill set or a humbling, sometimes we need a humbling because we get too prideful. That's when we go through trials and tribulations, but it's all lessons and it's all purposeful and it's all working together for our good. So yeah, just to say that. But to make training this go around a little bit easier, without getting too deep, and I think 75 hard this time around was already going to be easier because I'm in my nutrition coaching certification and I'm right at the end. And a lot of what I have learned in my certification, like, made me think, oh my goodness, I did this the hard way. Like, I did 75 hard the hard way the first time. And so of course I'm still going to follow all the rules. 2 workouts a day, 1 inside, 1 outside, a gallon of water, 10 pages of a book, and a diet, no cheat meals. Like, I'm still gonna do exactly what it says, but it's gonna be like 20 times easier because now I have a deeper understanding of habit building. And I think the first time it wasn't super hard for me because I already had a layer of understanding habit building and how change happens in the brain, because I already had a certification in neuro-linguistic programming, which is the study of how of like habit building and success and how our brain processes and thinks about information and intakes information. So I already had that base, so that made it a little bit easier than it would be for like the normal person. But now having this additional base of the nutrition coaching certification is like gonna make it way easier. Okay, so I'm going to share with y'all 3 things that I am doing to make sure that I am prepared to finish this thing easy. Okay, prepared to finish this thing easy. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have a fitness goal in mind. So the thing with me is that if we say, oh, we're working out and we're just working out to work out, like, I may or may not do it. But if we say, oh, we're working out because we have a half marathon that's coming up in 9 weeks, or we're working out because we got to lose 10 pounds, that makes it a lot easier for me because there is some type of external reward or external goal, and that for me in turn creates intrinsic motivation. So if you're not familiar with the concept, intrinsic motivation are things that internally motivate you to get up and do what you need to do, or to change or whatever, right? It's intrinsic. It comes from the inside. It's not reliant on anybody else, okay? External motivation or extrinsic motivation is motivation that comes from outside things, like things that people are going to congratulate you for, words of affirmation, which is my love language. My love language. And so it comes from things that are outside that you can't necessarily influence. So like, for example, if I was saying, oh, I'm running this half marathon because the last time I ran the half marathon, my mom called me and said how proud of me that she was, that's extrinsic. But if I say I'm running this half marathon because I want to be able to say I did it, I want to be able to tell my clients, yeah, I ran such and such amount of half marathons, that's intrinsic, right? So you really need a mix of both in order to hit like any goal that you set. But for me, I think having the goal attached to the work makes it a lot easier to do the work knowing that this day is coming, right? Especially when it comes to having a deadline with your goal, because it could just be a generic goal of I'm gonna lose 20 pounds, and like who knows how long that's gonna take. But if I say I'm gonna lose 20 pounds in the next 4 months, that kicks it up a little bit, that kicks up the motivation. So keeping those types of things in mind, I think is going to make it a lot easier for me. So having this half marathon is going to make my life like 20 times easier, because the spot is already bought and it's not here in state. So I'm literally traveling out of state for this experience. So that's going to help a ton. The second thing that I'm doing differently is I'm being a little more lenient on the diet that I've chosen. So if you've ever done 75 hard, or if you've never done 75 hard, the diet portion of it is to choose a specific, I'm trying not to use the word restrictive, but you want to choose a specific eating plan, right? Or a way of eating, style of eating. So it could be pescatarian, it could be no sweets, it could be, no fried food. So you get to choose what your diet per se is going to be, but there are 0 cheat meals. You cannot have any cheat meals, okay? And so I think initially the first time around, mine was like vegan, and vegan was okay, right? But going from regular eating to vegan eating can tend to feel a little restrictive. And so instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go less restrictive but more impactful. So this time what I'm doing is I'm committing to intermittent fasting. So I'm only going to eat between the hours of 11 to 5. That's going to be my diet. I'm still going to eat relatively healthy, but it makes more sense to commit to something that may be a little less restrictive, that for a fact you can consistently do, versus committing to something that's a little bit more restrictive, where you are going to be feeling like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so hard. This is going to be so hard. Because like people think that they should just, do the hard part. This is hard. This is hard. This is hard. And it's 75 hard. It's not about doing the most difficult thing ever. It's about being consistent. And when you look at not just building mental strength, but also building physical strength, it's not about doing the most hard thing for a short period of time. It's about doing the thing that's maybe a little less restrictive, but something you can like 100% commit to. The third thing that I'm going to be doing to prepare for 75 hard, I actually might have 4 things. Oh, it's a deer. Hey, baby deer. I love living in the South. Hey, B&B. The third thing that I'm going to do to prepare for 75 hard this time around is I am going to bring back my 4 a.m. wake up routine. So the first time I did my 4 a.m. wake up routine, for maybe about the first half of it, and then I was like, I don't really need to wake up at 4 a.m. in order to, hit these 2 workout goals. And then I fell off. So now I understand that I need to wake up at 4 a.m. Like, it's not an option. The likelihood that I will get my 2 workouts done if I don't wake up at 4 a.m. is drastically lower than if I do wake up at 4 a.m. And so I'm realizing, like, okay, girl, I'm one of those people, and I don't know if it's because I have kids and the afternoons are busy with kids. Like, whether you have young kids, older kids, whatever, it's something about the afternoon. Like, you got bus drop off, you have after school activities, you have homework, you have dinner, you have bath time. Like after 2 o'clock, it's like boom, 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 boom. Like, stuff is just happening. So I'm realizing that as a mom, I have to do my 2 workouts before 12 o'clock. Like, if my 2 workouts are not done before noon, the likelihood is like so low, because that means that I'm going to have to wait until I do all of these afternoon activities, give out all of my energy, and that's not good energy management, but give out all of my energy, and then I have no energy left to work out. And I'm like dragging myself to get on a treadmill or dragging myself to get on my Peloton, because I have a Peloton at home for that reason. Like, I got the Peloton because the activities was just so crazy. It was like, I don't know when I'm going to have time to leave the house to do this, but I still need to do this. Right. And I don't have a treadmill at home, but I'm getting one. Okay. I'm getting one. So that's the third thing I'm doing, is I'm going to make sure I bring back my 4 a.m. wake up routine, which I think is actually good because it's good for my content too. Like, when I do the 4 a.m. wake up content, people love that because it's motivating. Whether you wake up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., it's just the fact that, like, you guys, like, if you've never done it, you probably don't understand, but like, waking up before everybody else wakes up is like an additional form of self-care. Like, even if you don't have kids, you getting up at, I just realized my daughter's shirt is back here. We stopped at Walmart and got her a green shirt because it's St. Patrick's Day. I said, ain't nobody finna be pinching my baby. So we stopped and got her a green shirt. So this is the shirt she actually had on this morning. That's clean. But yeah, like, waking up, even if you don't have kids, waking up before everybody else, meaning waking up before your parents wake up, waking up before your friends wake up, before your partner wakes up, before your pets wake up. Well, pets gonna wake up with you. But when you wake up before them, it is like a silent period where you're not getting any notifications, no distractions, no interruptions. And so if that means 4 to 5 a.m., it's like, wow, everybody's still asleep. Like, this is really me time. Like, I don't have to do anything but worry about what I want and what I need in this moment. So it is like literally deep self-care to wake up early in the morning. It feels like a sacrifice at first, but honestly, if you adjust your bedtime, it becomes a lot easier too, because you still need to rest. You still need to rest. So it starts with adjusting your bedtime and creating a nighttime routine, then adjusting your wake up time and doing a morning routine. But I'm bringing back the 4 a.m.s because that's going to make my life a lot easier. And then the last thing I'm going to do, the last thing I'm going to do that I did not do last time consistently is I am going to meal prep. This is like a 2-part. I'm going to meal prep, and I am deleting DoorDash, and Uber Eats is getting deleted off of my phone. Okay? Because I don't need the temptation, and nobody's eating out. Matter of fact, for the 75 days, nobody's eating out. Like, I'm not taking y'all to McDonald's. I'm not taking y'all to Chick-fil-A. Like, if you want that, you're going to have to go with your daddy. You're going to have to go with your Mimi and your Poppy. That's what we call my mom and dad. Or your Mama D. Like, you're going to have to go with somebody else. Because I'm not taking you. I'm not pulling up to the parking lot. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to the drive-thru. I'm not doing it. So, I think meal prepping is just going to make my life easier. And I have a bad habit of meal prepping and then not eating the meal prep. Like, I meal prep and then I just will look at it. I don't know what that is, but I need to meal prep and eat it. And so I have created this super easy way to not only meal prep, but just a super easy way that's kind of like low carb, that doesn't involve a ton of recipes to meal prep. And it's something that I'm giving to my clients for the first time. I've done it before, but I'm giving it to my clients for the first time, and I'm like, I should do this. But y'all will see it on Instagram, because I'm gonna start talking about it on Instagram. I have recipes too, but they're very easy. I do not do complicated recipes. I don't want no 30-minute 45-minute prep, 2-hour cook time. Like, unless it's collard greens and I'm throwing it in a crock pot, or mac and cheese, or like soul food. I understand soul food take a long time to cook, but if we talking about meal prep, I'm not trying to be in the kitchen for 7 hours meal prepping. I've never have I ever. I'm a very simple meal prep girly, and I love that for me. I really don't even have to wear this vest, but I'm gonna put it on because I need somewhere to put my key. So yeah, that's gonna make 75 hard super easy for me, I believe. So my next half marathon is in 82 days. 75 hard is 75 days. And so we're gonna see what this body transformation looks like, because I feel like it's gonna be, I've been through a drastic, like my first 9 weeks of half marathon training, I had what I feel like was a drastic body change. But now with this layered on top of it, I feel like it's gonna be insane, but in a good way. So yeah, I'm gonna go get this work in. We at the park, at the field, and yeah, I will keep y'all updated. I'm going to be documenting this 75 hard pretty closely. So I will see y'all in the next video. Do me a favor, in the comments, let me know if you've ever done 75 hard, if you haven't done it, if you've been thinking about it, because I would love to be able to like just be a part of your journey as well, and see you guys successfully complete it too. All right, see y'all later.